Right, so here's a combination that I've never run before. I've got the Brighton bell, which is actually the Exehaven bell now, and the blue Pullman. And I've got them fairly rattling around at the moment. I'm just testing how they are on the track. I always find this is a good test after you've laid the track, is to run them around at a bit of pace and see how they perform, and both of them are doing pretty good actually, which is not unexpected. They are generally good runners. The blue Pullman used to have a bit of trouble on a couple of points that I used to have on the old iteration of the layout, but she seems to be quite enjoying this. We've been going for about 10 minutes now, I would say, and she goes around pretty well, as you can see. So cross with the Exehaven bell. There she goes, over the top bridge. Now, I know, and I'm going to have another look at this, and I spoke to Ewan about this briefly. He said this is quite noticeable where it comes off the top, and I do know that. I have put something in there to try and alleviate that a bit, which it did, and has to a certain degree. It's not as noticeable, but it is something that I will revisit. But that'll be done in time. As with everything else really, it's just time. I'm out here on a Sunday morning, which is unusual. I finished my hoovering duties early today. Paul Sheedy will be pleased to hear that. And I just thought, after I've watered the garden, I thought I might take the chance and see if I can get these two running, and I have. And just before lunch, I'm going to let these go round for 20 minutes, half an hour. And very enjoyable it is too, watching them out of the boxes and running. Right, so here we are on the 101st episode. And as we watch the Pullmans go by, today I'm going to make a start on Exehaven Harbour station in terms of the track. Now, I'm going to have 4 platforms now, so one of these won't be here. They're just there out of the way, so there's going to be 4 platforms. Maybe there'll be that other platform yet. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm still kind of formulating the plan. I had a comment in the last in the 100th episode from Ian McAllister. Hello Ian, thank you very much. And he's insisting that I have a head shunt at the station. There will be a head shunt. Okay, I've just got to work out the track plan. Now, in my head, we've only got to the end of this board, because this will be built up. This will be like a hillside that will come down and will form part of Exehaven itself, the town. So it is just a matter, I mean, I may take a little bit of that up to the point here, maybe, but I'll work that out as I go. But what I need to do is work out how the station's going to work in terms of the 4 platforms. Do I just use 2, or do I use the 3? So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the outsides are not used, but I think I may go just the 2, and where the station building comes, there'll be a shorter platform there. But I think I may have said in the past that it is sort of really just a glorified storage area, so I may just go for the whole lot. But what I'm trying to do, I mean, the whole principle of this for me was trying to keep it simple, and I don't want hundreds and hundreds of points, but the more you try, the more you get. But so that is a deciding factor in some ways, you know. I just want something simple and something to build scenery on, you know. And the more you do, the more complicated it gets. But there've got to be points here, obviously. But I didn't really want some really complicated junction into the station throat, I suppose it would be called. So that's what we've got. The other thing that I've done is I've actually cut these platforms down in length. There's still enough room in there for an eight coach train at least, and an engine on the front, maybe even 9 coaches actually. So we'll see how that comes out. But first job really, this isn't secured down yet. So today I'll be securing that down and hopefully getting some caulk on the top. I think I've got to do 2 layers of caulk on this. Well, strangely enough, a lot of these were already pre-cut to exactly this height, so I've used them, which just led to it being sort of 4mm lower than it should. So at the end of the day, it's no real bother. So and it's an easy way of dealing with it. So I'll come back to you shortly, or what will be shortly for you. It could be some time for me. We'll just have a little watch for the trains go round again. Excuse me. Right, okay, so just as a reminder, some of you may remember that some time ago I bought this kit, and it's Bahnhof Osterburg. Apologies for any for our German friends. I just probably mispronounced that really badly, but this is the kit that I'm going to use as a main station building. I'm going to anglicise it somewhat, so there'll be probably some canopies on the front that are very much of a British style, and I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do with the platforms in terms of canopies, but there will be some kind of canopy across there, and this will back onto there. Now also what I'm planning to do is, out of one of these sections here, I'll have a bridge coming over to dockside where people can join the ferries and the ships. So obviously that's something for the future, but while we're talking about it, I do really want to do some scenery, because, you know, just keep laying track and track and track, you know, you need a break. So it's either going to be the estuary, which, if I do the estuary, I will have to lay the track over the new girder bridges there, so that I've got the orientation right for that. And then I can take the bridge out and then do the water and the sides, or I can do the station, which I'm sort of kind of leading to, because it is on a limb, and it's not in the way of anything. I won't have to take everything apart. I mean, obviously I will have to take it apart over the estuary once I come to do it, but at the moment it might be just a good way of getting started on doing some kind of scenery. So we'll see how that goes. So, but anyway, I mean, I'll be happy for your suggestions. I won't necessarily take your suggestion, but yeah, it's either going to be the estuary or the station. So we'll see how we go. But when I do this, if I do the station, it will include the kit build for the station, and you know, we'll really try and make it nice. I'll make something of the back scene. I've got a couple of ideas for that, and we'll just see how that goes. Right, here we go. We're going to try and work out the track plan for what will be Exehaven Harbour station. Now, I'm very conscious that I need a head shunt in here, and I'll come back to you in a minute and I'll put the platforms in, and these aren't the actual platforms I'm going to use, I've decided now, but we'll have a look. But we're definitely going to have 4 platforms, but just bear with me and we'll get that set up. Right, okay, so we've got the platforms in. There will be an end piece here. The station building will go somewhere along here. Now what I've got is this amount of room. It's not huge, and I need to service platform 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's a debate in my mind whether to have another platform here which would run up to here and the building would be here, but I think I really want the building perhaps a little bit more central, but I'm still umming and ahhing that. So, but basically this is where I've got to get the track into. Now I think at the moment, the way I'm thinking anyway, is that this point is too early. And I want to get away without using that many points. And I think if I move this forward a bit, I can then have this. It will be the main point that will feed all the platforms basically, and off of there somewhere I can have another point. The signal box won't be there, but I can have another point in there just to head into the head shunt for the loco that will be the station pilot, whatever the loco that may be. We don't know, time will tell. I was thinking about having a set of points here, set of points here. I don't want it. It's just too complicated, and you know, I think with the station pilot, just dragging the trains out, but then that leaves another problem. I might have to have some longer tracks so that the train can actually, the station pilot can drag it out, and I think that might work actually, up to where them buses are. I'll have a measure of that and see what we've got. So as you can tell, there's a, you know, it is unplanned, and there's a lot going on in my mind in terms of how I'm going to work it, but I'm going to have a go. I probably haven't got quite enough points, to be honest, but we'll have a look, and we'll see what I come up with. So in the next segment you'll see that. Right, so we're back, and hour or so later I've kind of got it sussed, but it is kind of only half a suss in some respects. I am just restricted because of the space. Now let me explain. So anyway, we're coming off this junction. I've shortened this straight, but we can fit my longest loco in there, which is a Western. That will fit on there no problem. So my point being there is that it's somewhere for it to sit. I know it's the main line in. Excuse me. I know it's the main line in, but also what I've got is for these two tracks here, when we come out, that'll join up to this point here, but we'll also have a length of track. So effectively, if it's steam or diesel hauled, that can push that back out, put it up here and stick it. I'm going to have a line going right up to the end there, and at the other end the station pilot could be waiting ready to put the coach in stock back up and into the platform. It's only going to be these two platforms though. I just haven't got the room to work it out. I've tried a few combinations and it's just, I don't know, there isn't just enough room. I mean, this is N gauge and I still haven't got enough room, and like I say, I don't want to use hundreds and hundreds of points. Actually, I did find a load more points that I haven't used yet. So I'm kind of restricted. The other thing that I'm thinking of, so this point here will feed the other two platforms. So this will be platform 1, platform 2. So this point feeds platform 1, platform 2. This goes to platform 3 and 4. And, you know, kind of in my head, we can just have a multiple unit going in there, like the blue Pullman, the reverse blue Pullman, and obviously the Brighton stroke Exehaven Bell. They can go in there without any problem at all. Any DMUs could go in there. So that's kind of my thinking at the moment, and I you know, I'm trying to stress as well that this is really only a glorified storage area. Having the track right down there will give me another line for storage of coaching stock. And another thing that I'm thinking of doing once we run this line down here is having another very short line there, or maybe even a completely long line. I don't know yet. We'll see. Just to act as a head shunt as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I've come to the end of my my thought process, really, because it has driven me mad. Mainly, it is just mainly because of the space reasons, really. The other thing is, I will have, and I've got one, I've got a turntable. Now, I'm still unsure where I'm going to put this. I've always thought that this section here could act as the Exehaven, because here is Exehaven Central. And this could act as the yard for Exehaven Central, and that's probably where I'll put the turntable. But I don't know. I just don't know yet. That's to be worked out, because then I'm going to have to rework junctions here. It's very difficult to actually, and again, it's the space. I mean, I've got loads of space as such, but to get everything in is very, very difficult, and I'll do my best, but at the end of the day, you know, I'll do a few movements here, you know, obviously sort of shunting back in and back out with some of the carriages and so on, but I'm primarily somebody that wants to build the scenery, and I love watching the trains go round in it. And you know, for me, this, like I say, is a storage area, and I probably won't be standing here for too much of the time shunting carriages backwards and forwards. I know some of you really enjoy that. It's not my booty. Everybody's got their thing about how they would like their railway. This is how I like mine. I want to try and get it to look as realistic as possible. Prototypical, I hate using that word because you know, I always find with model railways, prototypical is fine, but space restrictions stop you being prototypical. And you know, I want something that works, and I want something that works nicely and easily, and I don't have to keep fussing about stuff. But there's lots and lots of plans, and you know, I might even change my mind yet about how we go about doing this, but we'll see how that goes. And I'm sure a lot of you will have different ideas to me. I know that you will, and if you want to leave your comments, that's fine. I'm absolutely happy to take anything on board, but I want to try and keep it simple, remember. Okay. Oh no, I've added 2 more points. This, now I've got a curve point here, curve point there. That can join up to that track. That can join up to that track, which affords a run around out of those platforms. It doesn't really help these 2 platforms so much, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. In fact, well, as I'm talking about it now, as much as that looks like it's going to work, I've got to get a surface mounted point motor in there. I might be able to do that with the structure at the end of the platform. That's a good thought, because I'm rebuilding these platforms, so that might work actually. So bear that in mind when we eventually come to do this. Yeah, so that would sort of give us a bit of a run around. So even out of platform 1, we could get down to here, then run up round there. You know, it opens up other possibilities anyway. Everything's got to be surface mounted, the point motors here. I'm thinking about getting Rouser Sheffield ones, because they're made by DCC Concepts, I believe, and they are good prices, and they're simple. Sadly, I can't get under here. You probably could with the solenoid ones, but honestly, it'd be so awkward. I'm going to do it from the top, so we're going to disguise those surface mounted point motors as best we can. And I think I did see Ian some time ago, Ian Zengage, hello Ian, he actually had an extended wire onto the point mechanism, so I'll be looking at doing that almost certainly. So yeah, so that's where we're at, a little bit more added in terms of pointage, which it didn't really want, but it does work a bit better. And I'll see you in the next segment. Right, okay everybody, I'm going to finish this up here. I haven't got much time next week to do much more filming and get the video ready for when it goes out Friday. There's some running, I think, in this episode, and if there's not, I will include it, so you'll understand, hopefully, the way that I've shot this. But yeah, I've had the 2 Pullmans running, as you will have seen, and that's the first time I've ever done that at Exehaven, is at the Brighton stroke Exehaven Bell and the reverse livery Pullman running at the same time. So yeah, that's all good. As for the station, we are as we are. I'm not sure that I'll get much done this week in terms of the layout. I've got to start painting the cabin. I was meant to do that last year and never got around to it. I started it, but I run out of good weather. So I'll be doing that. Hopefully it'll only take me a week or so to do, bearing in mind we've got lots of things going on. Yeah, but the layout is not forgotten. And again, I'd love your opinion. You know, one about how this is working out, and two, I'm going to be doing some scenery at some point, and it's either going to be the station area, which I'd probably like to do, thinking about it, mainly because I've got a load of stuff coming for it, and it's out on a limb. It's not actually on the main line, and I can just have trains running around while I'm working, which is a bit, you know, something I like doing. But on the other hand, I'd really like to get maybe just sort of sculpting the edges of the estuary and perhaps the watering. You know, I'd love to. I'm really looking forward to having a go at the water technique. So, but give us your opinion and we'll see how we go. Okay, so thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for the support on the last episode. That was great, the 100th episode. And I look forward to my 200th. And here we are. Okay, take care of yourselves. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.